Hey everyone, it's Wowous. We're here with a Hearthstone video today. We're talking about the top 10 most played cards here in August 2019 since the Saviors of Uldum expansion came out. And there aren't a lot of surprises here, but there are definitely some cards that have picked up in terms of this latest expansion and a couple of new cards. So I wanted to talk through those. This is by percentage of index. So this data comes from HS Replay, which is very accurate data in terms of what you're seeing played. And then at the end of the video, we'll talk a little bit about some win rate stuff, which is different than what percentage is being played in index. So we're going to count down from number 10 to number 1, and we'll jump right in here. And hopefully this audio quality is a little bit better for you. I picked up a new microphone. So I think this will be a little bit better in terms of audio quality as well. So starting at number 10, we've seen Doomsayer pick up quite a bit since the last expansion. I think Mage is seeing some pickup, and he's good in a couple of other decks. But this is the sort of classic expansion epic card that is a must-have. Doomsayer can clear out a board as a 2-drop. It really can give you some different options, and then you can obviously combo it with a number of other cards, but it essentially causes your opponent to have to rethink how they're playing. If they can't get the 7 damage out to it that turn, it can be a very effective card. So a Doomsayer, not surprising, and there have been different times in the meta where this card has become more and more played, and right now is just one of those times where it's almost a must-have in your repertoire. So number 9 is Evil Cable Rat. Not surprising here either from Rise of Shadows. 2-drop, 1/1, Battle Cry, add a lackey to your hand. A lot of great combos. Some of the quests you need to have lackeys. It just gives you a lot of value for a 2-drop. I mean, the 1/1 is okay, but it's a beast, and it adds that lackey, which just adds a lot of value to a lot of decks. So a lot of different synergies with other decks that you can use this in. So not a surprising card at number 9. At number 8, we have Arcane Intellect. Arcane Intellect has been a popular card since the game came out. It really is one of the top mage cards played, and no surprise here with Secret Mage, a little bit of Quest Mage, some different stuff like that. The ability to draw 2 cards for 3 costs is hugely important because Mage doesn't have a ton of other opportunities to draw a card. So pretty much a must-have. You know, it's a basic card, so you're going to end up having it if you play the game. But this is a card that definitely gets a lot of use for mages, and it has throughout the history of the game. And that card is in at number 8. At number 7, we have our good buddy Leroy Jenkins. Leroy Jenkins is still the best finisher in the game. You drop him down, sometimes you can Faceless Manipulator. I'm going to have 2 of them. But that's 6 damage right off the bat. 5-drop means you can combo it with a bunch of other, plus 2 attacks, some different options there in terms of making him more powerful. But he's a great way to finish the game, and a lot of times if you can get an enemy hero down into the single digits, you can Leroy them to death. So a great finisher in the game, and really, in my opinion, a must-have legendary. And I've said it in some previous videos, I would not be surprised to see Leroy get Hall of Famed at the end of the year, because he just has had sort of his run, and he's been up here at the top, and especially for a classic card, I think there's not much more they can do with him, and he's been powerful for a long time. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Leroy get Hall of Famed at the end of the year if I were you. Moving on, we're going down to number 6 here. The number 6 wrong card, not the right one. It's Questing Explorer, which apparently I don't have. Where is he? Did I spell him wrong? Oh yes, I don't have Questing Explorer. I'm clearly not playing Questing Explorer right now. But Questing Explorer, it works well in quest decks. 2-drop, 2/3 Battle Cry. If you control a quest, draw a card, gives you good card draw. Just a good card. For me, I'm not playing a ton of quest decks right now, so I haven't crafted it, but a very useful rare nonetheless. To give you a sense, these cards from Doomslayer up to Questing Explorer all have about the same play rate right now in decks. So those cards all sit around a 15 to 16% usage rate in all decks. So, obviously in the mage decks, and Arcane Intellect is used in most of them, but typically maybe a mage deck you only see about 15% of the time, which is about average for, sort of a 1 out of 9. in terms of the different classes. So anything around 15, 16 is good, and then anything above that is just really means that it's probably overpowered or just seeing a ton of use in the current meta. So this is just under 17%, so not too surprising. Number 5 is a card that has been popular since it came out in the Witchwood, Life Drinker. It's a beast. It does 3 damage to enemy hero. It restores health. It combos nicely with Shudder. It combos nicely with any sort of, the Rogue, Tessa, anything that you can have it cast again and again and again. This is a great card to have in your deck, and it's good in terms of being a beast and some of those other things as well. This is just a very solid 4-drop, and that card is used in about 18% of decks right now. So again, seeing a lot of usage in at number 5. At number 4, we have one of our first legendaries from this new expansion, Siamat. He is a battle cry, gain 2 of Rush, Taunt, Divine Shield, or Wind Fury, your choice, 6/6 elemental. Okay, so he's got good stats, 7 drops, 6/6. He's got those choose 2, so he's got a lot of versatility. You choose what you want. If you want to do Rush and Divine Shield, that's great. If you want to do Rush and Wind Fury, you can take out 2 people. If you want to do Taunt and Divine Shield, he's a pain to kill. You can combo, any 2 of those combos work nicely. So not surprising, a lot of versatility and an elemental. So you can combo him with any of that sort of elemental stuff. So just kind of a nice legendary. I don't want to say he's a must craft, but he's up there in terms of the cards in this expansion. He's the second best in terms of most played. So definitely a worthwhile contender for if you're looking for something to craft from this expansion. One of 2 options, in my opinion, in terms of those legendaries. And then at number 3, and CMAT's used in about 19% of decks right now. And at number 3 is really no surprise, really the card that's become very popular from this expansion, Zephrys. This is the no duplicates deck. You can wish for the perfect card. You sort of get something that the game thinks will be good for you. People love playing this. And in terms of that, it's got a 28% in deck rate. So just over a quarter of the decks are playing it right now. 55% win rate. So overall, it does pretty well. It's above average win rate. So a very good card. And this to me is probably the card that if somebody said to me, which I can only craft one legendary from this expansion, what would it be? Zephrys, I think, is probably your best choice at the moment. Zephrys or Siamat are really the 2 choices. And then there's one other, and I'll talk about that in a moment. And so at number 2, the most played card, still Snip. Why don't I have Snip? Show golden cards? I have Snip. This is bizarre. It's because I'm in the crafting menu. I have Snip, the golden one. So you Snip, just a great card here. They gave it away for free. Magnetic, Echo, Death Rattle, Summon 2/1/1 Microbots. Just a great 3-drop. This is like a perfect 3-drop. And so, a must play in mech decks, a must play in a lot of other decks, just a ton of value. You can combo them together and make one huge minion. You can drop a couple of them down and be annoying. You could drop one down early if you really needed to, but just a great versatility. You can use it for a lot of different stuffs. Has a very high win rate, 56% win rate with this card, and it's used in just over 30% of decks, so it's seeing a lot of use. Number 1, no surprise. This has been since I started this channel. Ziliax is the card. It's the one card that if you said which card should I craft, I would say Ziliax. Still today, you're only going to get a few months out of it in Classic because it will rotate out. But this is probably the most broken card the game has ever had. It's used in 55% of decks right now. So over half the decks in the game use this. I can't remember, there's only a handful of decks that don't use it right now. And it's got just under a 55% win rate. So very, very useful. It's played an absolute ton. It's by far the most played card in the game. So overall, out of all the cards that get played in the game, this card gets played almost 2% of the time every time a card is dropped in the game, which is just an incredible statistic. Most other cards are below 1%, down the mid, 0.5, 0.4. This card's at almost 2%. It's almost unheard of in terms of its play rate. So just seeing a ton of usage, especially for like a 5-drop. Now, I want to talk just quickly. You kind of saw the list, so we'll just run through it again. Doomslayer, Evil Cable Rat Arcane Intellect, Leroy, Questing Explorer, Life Drinker, Tiamat, Zephyrus, Snip, and Ziliax. But I want to talk very quickly about deck win rate, and there's one card that has surpassed all others in terms of deck win rate that's not in the most played cards. And I want to talk about why that is. And it's Armadillo. Armadillo is the staple card in Taunt Warrior right now. He's, a taunt, 6-drop, 4/7. At the end of your turn, give all taunt minions in your hand +2/+2. He's a great option both if you can drop him, but also if you can discover him with a Frightened Flunky. So that's the 2-drop that you can discover a taunt minion. Great option if you're playing Taunt Warrior. This is the card to play. He has almost a 60% win rate when you drop him down. So, just in terms of that, a 63% if you drop him, and a 52% win rate with your deck if you play him. Now, not surprising, the other cards with a very, very high win rate now that are on this list, Tomb Warden, another warrior staple, same exact thing. You combo those two cards and they're sick together. Super Collider, another warrior card. And then Omega, right? So who isn't sick of running into these? But these are the cards that have the highest win rate. So in terms of the most played cards, not a lot of surprises. A lot of those kind of classic neutrals, not too many class-specific cards. But when you look at win rate, it's all warrior, and it's all mostly taunt warrior. And Armadillo is just very, very high win rate right now. So something to consider as you play. Hopefully this was helpful to you. If there's more content that you'd like to see in terms of Hearthstone, Here's the Storm, anything like that, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment in the comment section below. Drop that like, and if you have thoughts, I'd love to hear them. So thank you so much for watching.